Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DCUO Sourcecast. I am, of course, Trex, and alongside me this evening we have Super Patriot.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
And we have Brittany.
Hi.
So I hope everyone is nice and seated. Episode 199, the penultimate episode, as MEPs and other people in the TV industry call it. So it is pretty awesome. We have episode 200 coming out next week, where we have auras, we have Xbox, PSN, Daybreak, cash cards to give away. We will be having MEPs. Will be coming on to the show to talk about a few things. So it's and you know, tell me how good of a job I've been doing. You know, it's like, because I'm leaving. So MEPs is gonna come in and just kind of say nice things about me, because MEPs always says nice things, at least to me.
Really, I was hoping it was more gonna be like a roast.
You know, I'm expecting. Oh shit!
It's gonna be a roast.
Okay, good.
Okay, yay!
I mean, come on. I mean, it's Uncle Trex's last podcast.
Dick.
It's gotta be a roast.
Dick. What a dick!
Oh yeah.
Wait, what thread was that in? I saw the
no idea.
screenshot of it, but what thread was that in?
I didn't even see the screenshot of it.
The screenshot, the screenshot is on my Twitter because
yeah.
Bumbling Bee did the smart thing and screen captured it on his iPad and tweeted it to me yesterday. So that's on there because that thread was. I think the thread was shut down, or at least those posts were. Mine and the original post.
But what was the post though? Like, what was the original post about?
Do I really need to go into it?
Yeah.
We don't have to go into it. What was the name of it, or like a sentence?
That's
all I want to know. I don't.
It was in that Soda Cola Ultimate thread that we talked about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that long ass thread. Oh, okay. It kept going.
Explains it all then.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it was all nice and fun, I guess, for someone. It was fun for me because my reply was like the best.
Control Creed. He's a class act. Can I just read it for? Can I read it for everybody?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Check this out, folks. All right. This is. I'm assuming this is a reply to you.
This is not a reply to me. The post that you're about to read is actually coming from someone else, and he brings me up. He brings me up through that whole thing because of what I said. Because it was me talking about capitalism, and then this guy replied, and then here comes Control Creed, bringing my name into it.
Okay, so Control Creed says, no, it's an oligopoly? The hell ever, whatever that is. I don't know economics. No, it's an oligopoly, if not monopoly, since it's the only MMO with a major superhero franchise. Capitalism is supply and demand. Trex wouldn't know what capitalism was if it bit him on the ass. Or we'll just say asterisk.
Yes.
Thing is, he already covers other because he knows what a loser this game is. I really don't know why he's kissing their butt when he knows making DCO vids is cancer to a YouTube channel. I really don't see what they could be giving him to get him to defend this pile of trash, but it's embarrassing. His Uncle Tom act is growing tiresome.
Yeah. So that was my Thursday.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I'm not going to go into my entire post of what I said, but basically I had to edit that post that you see. It's on my Twitter again. I had to edit that 3 times because I had to get expletives out. Because I remember I'm posted on the forums and I don't want to get in trouble, so I'll put this as eloquent and nice as I can be. And so, I was gonna leave it alone. I was gonna make probably like a one sentence, but then the Uncle Tom thing came in. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy wants my full attention, so let's drop it there. So, as Soups read the post, here's the thing. I cover other games because I am what I'm trying to broaden my horizon. DCUO is not toxic for YouTube for the pure fact I have 3,000 followers on Twitter, 10,000 followers on YouTube, and I have to say I have been sitting pretty for the past 5 years because of the success of my videos for DCUO. And here's the thing: if you feel DCUO videos on YouTube or DCUO videos are toxic for YouTube, you're basically saying that the DCUO players putting these videos on YouTube are toxic to the community.
But wait, if he thinks your videos are toxic, then what does he think of people like Go Gamer and Godman?
He just means in general. He just means DCUO videos in general is toxic for YouTube.
He's saying that DCUO videos are toxic for a YouTube channel. Basically saying that, you know, people will tend to not watch those videos on somebody's YouTube channel if they cover other games, which is the exact opposite of the point. I mean, I know of a couple of channels out there that I could flat out disprove that theory on. Mine included. I uploaded an entire 100% freaking, walkthrough on Assassin's Creed 3 with a take on it that a lot of people didn't, go with, because I gave like little historical facts because it was during the Revolutionary War, and I'm a little bit of a Revolutionary War buff. So I gave actual historical little tidbits and all that while giving a 100% walkthrough on there. And those videos did not do spectacular for my channel. I have DCO videos out that I was putting out at the same time. And, they were doing better than those Assassin's Creed 3 videos were doing. Same goes for other YouTube channels out there like Orbit. Orbit is a perfect example. Orbit, stopped doing DCO videos, did Black Desert for about a month, and we have not seen a video from him since. Now, is it because he's busy and all that and whatnot? Sure, probably. From the last time I heard, saw and all that, he's had some channel issues with his channel and everything, with a bunch of his videos disappearing. But at the same time, he stopped doing DCO videos, and his views have gone down, not up.
As a YouTube channel, you tend to grow. The more subscribers that you have, the more views that you're getting is awesome for that one game. But it's almost dangerous to tread into a different game, and so you want to dip your toe into it instead of going full blown into it, like I've done on my channel. I have been highly successful with my DCO videos, and by stopping DCO videos, I'm slowing them down. I have personal issues going on right now that I'm having to put a focus on, but I might be stopping the DCO Sourcecast, but I will still be having semi-regular DCO videos out there. Maybe some test server stuff, maybe just some looking at some styles, maybe some opinion pieces. Because I'm still going to be reading the forums. I'm still going to be talking to the developers on Twitter and stuff. I'm still be around. I'm just slowing down and stepping into a different genre. And it's a difficult thing to do. You can't just go full blown. I'm happy with success of my channel, and honestly, I feel like it's my perfect time to step back from it, because I have seen a growth of other DCUO channels pop up, from Magneto First Class, from Torikumu, from even some of the Odyssey folks. I'm still seeing a growth from different channels trying to pop up, especially now that we have Xbox. We have Xbox players bringing their own stuff. So I think that I have done the first 5 years doing well. People can see how I do my videos, take inspiration from it whatsoever, and just do their own thing with it. And I still have people come up to me, message me, and ask me for advice, and I give it, because the more DCO channels that there are, the better. It's the more exposure in everything. So with me, I'm taking a step back. I want these other channels to grow, because a lot of them are actually a lot better than me. Tori does an amazing job on his videos. I'm completely jealous. I try to take inspiration. I can't do it. He's so damn good. Watch his stuff. I absolutely love watching it. He does excellent stuff, and he does something that a lot of other channels missing. And that's what you have to do as a YouTube channel. You look at a game, You see, you have your supply, but what is the demand from that channels? What is the one thing that they're missing that you can do differently to put your own voice into it?
Yeah, I mean, and it's and on top of that too, you've got to on top of finding that voice and what you're putting into it unique. Is it something that other people are not doing? Case in point, that's why I tried to do with those Assassin's Creed 3 videos. I tried to do something a little bit new that nobody else was doing out there. Any of the other Assassin's Creed 3 videos I watched, nobody else was doing any of them. Nobody was adding a little, factual history to it. And talking about that stuff. So that's what I tried to do. And I just looked at the playlist of those videos. Not a single one of those videos goes over 1,000 views, and that game came out years ago. But at the same time, it's all about you can't gauge really. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult to devote a lot of time to a specific game unless you know for a fact that it's going to do something to launch your channel or accelerate your channel up. Smile Before Death is actually a good example. I will give people that. Smile Before Death is probably the one example of somebody who took their YouTube channel from doing DCUO videos and propelled themselves further on by getting into other games and all that. I think he started off with Final Fantasy, I think it was.
Yeah, he moved on to FF14.
And then he started, with Final Fantasy, and then when Destiny came along, he just launched himself into that, and he's done very well for himself because of that. So, I mean, but he's like the only example out there. All the other channels out there that anybody out there can name, all right, that do DCUO videos. His is the only channel that's succeeded by going out there to other games. Maybe because of his personality, is because of his aggressive. I mean, is it because of his personality? I mean, possibly, yeah. The guy kind of like thinks he's like the next PewDiePie, from what I understand from last time I heard him talk, but I know he's tried to pattern himself after PewDiePie, and that's people like that kind of stuff. I guess I don't know. I don't get it myself. I'm not a huge fan of PewDiePie. I think he's no, but that's just me. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, Orbit's an example of somebody who has made a couple of attempts to get into other games and has failed each time. Nothing against him. It's just he hasn't been able to find that niche in there. Not to mention the fact that he's got a stain on his record right now. I mean, it's clear that I mean, it's a. I mean, Smile is an example of somebody who probably is not liked by the developers of a game, who is still able to have his channel do well in regards to like DCUO. Orbit's got a reputation out there right now for not being able to keep his mouth shut whenever he's had private discussions with developers or community managers for that point. So I mean, I've tried telling him this before too when it happened. How much of an idiot he was for what he did with that discussion between him and Meps. That I mean, he's, as far as a YouTuber, if he's looking to get in with any developers on any other games, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell that's going to happen for him.
Right.
So,
let's bring it back.
Yeah. I mean, yes, we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. But yeah, I mean, okay. DCUO being toxic for YouTube channels? No, it's not toxic for YouTube channels. There are toxic YouTube channels out there that post DCUO content. Abso-freaking-lutely. There are very, very few positive channels out there. I'm not even going to say positive channels. I'm just going to say there are very few channels out there that are honest and fair with their assessments of the game itself. I try to be honest and fair about everything. Whenever I post videos up, Trex is the same way. Brittany, she quit YouTube. She's all about the Twitch. And then there's some out there. There's some channels out there that are just they're there to have fun or just show off new stuff. Torikamu, I already say his name. He's an example. Creature. If anybody out there is not subscribed to Creature on YouTube, I highly suggest. He's hilarious.
Oh my god, I love Creature.
He puts out some very funny videos. Just like commenting on the community things that he does, just poking a little fun at some of the extremes with the community. It cracked me up. But no, it's Kreachure is the name of his channel. But yeah, definitely check him out. He's fun. But I mean, the vast majority of the other channels out there. I'll even say, Crappy Heels. He's made a bit of a turnaround since a couple of years ago when he was on another podcast, where he's still critical of the game and all that, but he doesn't attack people anymore, and that's where you don't want to go when you are trying to become if that's when you attack people, you're just trying to go out there to be another GOH gamer. Gravity Project. Yes, Ice God Zeus. Good shout out there, right there. Gravity Project, also putting out some helpful videos for folks, getting some information out to them.
Well, that's the thing. You can be critical of the game. There's just
absolutely
a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. Like, nobody's saying to say the game is perfect, because it's not. It's far from perfect.
God, no.
You can be critical without trying to shit on other players and people. So,
yeah,
developers are not idiots. They went to college. They went to school. They're not doing this because it's something easy. And if you think being a developer is easy, no, just stop. Just no. I've seen the crap that.
And all the people out there saying, "Oh, they're just trying to get our." Yeah, of course they are. It's their job. They need to get paid. I mean, for crying out loud.
No way. Let's just make the game for free.
Yeah. Oh my God, that one post today. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I was on the test server.
Oh.
Yeah, she got shut down quick.
My God, that was some of the worst sentence structure I've ever seen in my life. The guy's asking for us to be able to use in-game cash to convert it over to Daybreak cash so we could pay for our subs. What?
It's crazy.
Can you imagine the broker?
Well, WoW does something similar with tokens, but it's
so amazing.
It is, but it's a two-way street. You can either spend real cash to buy in-game cash, or you can spend in-game cash to buy a token. So they work together to make, ultimately to make the game money, but...
I want it so bad.
It would be cool if there was a way to do that with DC, but I don't think
I would buy an in-game cash token.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I would.
I'm saying I would too.
it pays your subscription, or you could pay for your friend's subscription. Oh my God, it's so great.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing that they came up with.
All right, on with the show. We're not talking about DCO stuff yet. Ha ha ha. All right, so we have some cool information going on this weekend. Right now is RTX. It's Rooster Teeth event.
Rooster Teeth.
It's Rooster Teeth. God damn it, donut! So it's we have the events going on this weekend. We actually have a panel where SJ is going to be sitting down with some voice actors, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first, we have to check on how everybody's week has been. We already heard some of mine. I have a little bit more. Let's go with Soups. How are you doing? How's your 2 weeks been? Because you weren't here last week.
Not too bad. Last week, I wasn't here. I slept. Not gonna lie, I won't lie to any of you guys out there. You know, I fell asleep before, woke up right at the tail end of it.
He did. He came in right for the breast exam for the explanation.
Yeah. So I came in, you know, at the end of it and all that. So I didn't get to talk about my week last week. My week last week was exceptional. It was so awesome. For all you guys out there who don't know, I've been trying to gear up a lot of my characters, my alts. Right, so you know, it's like I'm working on my hard light. I've got a source. I got a nature. I started another fire tune up, and of course, don't forget Trexlight, my new rage tune.
How's it going?
Well, I haven't done anything with the tank powers yet because I've just started to fall in love with this sorcery loadout thing, sorcery healing loadout that I've been doing. That one of the guys in my league told me about. It's basically it's like. This loadout is like tanking with ice. It's like I could do it with my eyes closed. How easy it is to heal with this loadout in content, because it uses two buffs to power the Watcher up, and so it's basically like taking going into an alert with an electric healer. It's like bringing an electric healer along in 4-man alert. It's so awesome. Just all sorts of bursts for days, with this loadout. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. But I've also been working on my hard light tune, which I had not touched since I got it to level 30 when Fight for the Light came out. That's how long that tune's just been sitting there doing nothing. So I was in queued up for a couple. I've got them up, CR up there pretty good. I queued into a Blackest Day raid, which I've actually had this. I told Brittany this story last week. She got a good laugh out of it. Queued into the Blackest Day, and there was 133 at the time, and the tank that came in there was 133 also. So now this is how the tank goes to start the boss fight. All right, everybody else is hanging back. There was a couple 160s in there, a couple 150s, whatnot. So I was expecting a fairly easy run, even with this 133 tank. So long as he was doing his job. So this is what the guy does. He goes in, everybody's staying by the door. He walks forward like he's getting ready to start it, and then stops. And then flies straight up into the air and stays up there for about a minute. While the rest of us were sitting there going, what is going on? What is going on? And then all of a sudden he starts it. And Hank Henshaw ends up killing everybody in the group. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was just a false start. Maybe he just got a little bit too close and it was just a false start. No big deal. So we go in there again. And this guy goes in, and I'm like, hey, dude, people are like, hey, Tank, do you know what you're doing? And he doesn't say anything. People are trying to talk to him. Doesn't say anything. All right. They're typing in group chat. Doesn't say anything. So we go in there to start it up again. And ends up being another wipe. So after that, and the tank not responding, everybody just starts leaving. Now there was another DPS in there, and all that. We were talking and everything. We're like, trying to get this tank to speak up, and people are coming in. They're seeing what's going on, and they're leaving. They're coming in, and they're leaving. I'm like, we're just ban the instance because we'll have better luck just re-queuing. So just ban the instance. We re-queue it. Q pops. I go in there again, and hey, look, there's this 133 tank again. And here comes this one DPS that I saw in there before. So I immediately tell everybody in the group, I'm like, all right, this tank's got to go because he doesn't know what he's doing. And the DPS that was in the run before with me, he agrees. So they ask him to leave. He doesn't leave. He goes in to start the fight, and now I see how he gets ready to start the fight. This is what he does. He goes off to the left, right, in that little circle area there. He's on the very edge of it and starts hitting them with range attacks with hand blasters.
Onto Hank.
Yes.
Why does a tank have hand blasters? I shouldn't judge. I shouldn't judge.
Mister. I used to tank with a bow.
But at least the bow had amazing melee options.
Yeah, that got brought up the other day. About it. We were talking about when we first started, finding YouTube videos on. Somebody brought up, the first YouTuber I found was Trexlight, and he was tanking with the bow. And I was like, yeah, I remember that.
I still would if I could find a good bow.
But yeah, so I'm like, dipping out, so everybody, we end up wiping again because he's not tanking. So we end up wiping again, and I'm finally like, all right, look, I'm like, dude, you need to go. I mean, you obviously don't know what you're doing. You need to go back into, older content or previous content from this, and figure out how to do your role. I almost plugged my channel, for him.
It's what you do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I almost did, but the guy finally spoke up. He finally spoke up in group chat. You want to know what he said?
Explicits?
He says to me, "I'm only 133, mother." To which I replied back to him, "I'm 132. I'm 133 also, mother, but I'm not ass." So yeah, that's how that run went. But then the golden run was when I go into a bombshell. Go into a bombshell. All right, and there's a moral to this story, folks. Go into bombshell, and there's no tanks, but of course there's somebody who was designated he was supposed to have been tanking. He was 140 CR as a DPS, and I wasn't in his chat, but this guy goes, he's like. All of a sudden, he types in group chat, and he's like, well, I'm not really set up for tanking, but I'll give it a try. So I'm like, oh man, here we go. But it was worse than that. It was worse than that because I saw the guy switch to tank stance. I didn't see him pop an armory. I saw the guy switch to tank stance.
Ah.
Yeah. He just switched his stance. So he wasn't set up. It wasn't so much set up for tanking. He did not have any tank gear, did not have a tank armory, none of that. So now I'm still calm about this. I take a previous run, I ball it up. If it goes bad, I ball it up in the trash and I throw it away. I don't take it into the next run. But all I said to the guy after he said this, I was like, well, you probably shouldn't queue up for things for role if you can't play that role because it screws up the queue system.
It does.
I mean, it's like, you queue up as a troll, but you have no troll gear whatsoever. You have no troll loadout whatsoever. Your only goal and your only intention is to DPS. Well, then you just took a troll spot in that content that could have been in there to troll for the group. It screws up the queue system.
It does. It does.
So this guy's response to me to this, just helpful hint, little tidbit of information and all that. His response to me is, "I didn't ask for your input, so shut the STFU." To which I'm like, all right, it's on. I'm done. Today I'm having fun for the rest of the day. So I just started jawing back at the guy the whole time. And he's trying to jaw back at me, and I'm jawing back at him the whole time, and I'm laughing the whole time because he's getting madder and madder and madder. Madder and madder and madder the whole time. And I'm just laughing at him. And it got to the point where he finally, got so mad that I'm trying to keep a PG-13 for Trex here, Super Toad. All right,
forgive
me.
It's a family show.
Yeah. So I'm just having fun now at this case. At this point, now mind you, we're still doing the first boss fight, I'm still, sitting there trolling. This guy's sitting off in the corner during the boss fight, typing, John at me. I stop to, leave a little comment back, and then I go back to doing my job, and he's over there just standing still the whole time. And then he types in the chat, I really enjoy watching you all die. Well, after that wipe, Vote to Kick came across, and I didn't start it. So, so then he gets kicked, and I get this tell from him. Now, let me tell you, folks.
Did you write him down?
No, I took a screen cap of it and I tweeted it out. Now, this is what happens when you give people some people suggestions on helpful tips for in the game. He tells me, "Here's hoping your father dies a nice slow death by cancer," and then tells me that the mention for your mother would be effing hysterical. He then tells me that I can just go die in a car wreck, and says that I am a useless POS. And it just trails, and ends off with telling me to get a life and to kill myself. No, I have not keyboard. I've got his name right here, though, and I am going to start doing it. The guy took issue to me calling him a kid because he was acting like an angry little kid.
Clearly. Well, to offer suggestions to players out there who may have difficulty tanking when you're coming into the the newer content, be sure to go and run older stuff to learn your stuff, or watch videos, or ask on the forums, or ask a friend, or try to find a nice stranger in the game to ask it. Stranger danger, not in games, and you don't have to worry about that. And just understand that switching your role, it may help if you know what to do, but that's where an armory comes in.
See, and this isn't the first time I've run into this problem. This was one time I was running when Nanda Parbat, Demon's Plan was still fresh. I was in there with a guy who was in troll stance, but he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't putting out any power. Wasn't doing POT, except for the accidental times whenever he used light claws. And I was finally asked him. I was like, "Dude, do you know what you're doing as a controller?" And he's like, "Not really." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you know?" He's like, "Well, I'm in troll stance, so that should be enough." No. No. That was the guy that inspired me to do my trolling basics video that I have on my channel. He was the inspiration for that video. The other two guys from last week, they are the reasons why I did the tank video after the fact. But yeah, folks, seriously out there, I mean, for you newer players out there, if you don't know the role, obviously, if you want to learn it, there's resources out there. There's the forums, there's YouTube. But until you are able to at least perform the basics of that role, don't queue up for it, especially if your only intention is to DPS. And that goes for a lot of you veterans out there too.
Yeah, and also another helpful tip as well, when you're using the on-duty queue system, don't queue for multiple roles. Just
unless you can play both those roles.
Unless you can play it, yeah, I'll give it that. I feel that if you're going to queue in for one role that you want to play, because it opens up the other ones for everyone else.
Well, it's like the only time that you're going to run into role restrictions like that is if you have a balanced group setting saved on for alerts, so, saved in your settings.
Which I do.
The queue will only pop if somebody has said they will heal, somebody said they will DPS, somebody said they will tank, and somebody said they will troll. So I mean that's the only time that queue will pop like that. But I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've like queued up for, I've just queued up to plug into an alert, and I've clicked on tank or DPS, and if it told me I was tanking, then I would switch to tank stance. I would have no problem with that. Unless the group said, hey, you don't need to tank, we can you can just DPS this. I'm like, all right, that's up to you. And then I'll do it. And if the runs run smooth, I will stay deep. If it's not, then I'm going back to tank stance because you douchebags don't know how to freaking do it without a tank. You need me to tank. What's Keeler do?
He mentioned electric. I wonder who did that.
You have like a auto. Is that like a banned word or something? So
No, there's an electric player who has power and he used it.
Keeler said something bad about electric and got pooped on.
All right, so is that it for you, Soups? From move on to Brittany?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Bad news. Crappy left the league today, or yesterday.
He'll be back.
So his some of his friends from Creativity came back, and he said they were looking to start fresh, and I'm like, just tell them to come over here. Just tell them all to come over here. And he was like, I tried, but he said they were all looking for a fresh start, but they're all back in Creativity again. I don't know. I gotta talk to him. But yeah. So.
I mean, if I have to, I'll tell the devs to move Nature up to get him back.
Well, you see, actually, I told him that because he was leaving the league, that I was going to get it spread out there that the reason why Nature is as bad as it is because all the suggestions that Crappy gave Tunzo. Yeah, that's why Nature is as bad as it is right now, folks. Is because Crappy told Tunzo bad things.
I can see that.
It's all Crappy's fault.
I can see that. Britt, how's your week been?
Oh, mine was okay. I mean, I ended on a very nice note, I would say. I have a new boss. I ended up moving to a new department because of a reorg we went through again. But my new boss is pretty freaking awesome. He let me go home, or let me take a half day today, but then I had to do this presentation that I wasn't supposed to do, he was supposed to do, but then I ended up having to do it. And he ended up joining the call midway through. He was like, you did a great job. And then his boss's boss sent me a message and was like, oh, you did great. I heard you did great. Good job. So it was kind of nice. But, so I don't know. It was good. I was happy the new episode came out. We had more stuff to do. So it's been a pretty good week. I have a 3-day weekend. So super happy.
Yay.
It's been good. Yay. How has your week been?
My week has been pretty good. I have a 3-day weekend as well. I don't have to work tomorrow morning, so that's amazing. So happy. Week's been pretty good. I've been stressed a little bit because this was kind of like the last week of the Steam Summer Sale. It ends, I believe, on the 4th. Will be the last day, and so I was basically trying to look and see. It's like, oh my god, did I save enough money? Did I save up enough? And my original cart was $106, but I knocked it down to 86. So those two indie games did not get picked up. I love my indie developers. I support them, but they were on the chopping block. But it's okay because I picked up cool games like Rise of the Tomb Raider and Just Cause 3. Nice little bundle for $51. Picked up Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Zestria, which I don't think I ever spoken about this, but I am a huge JRPG nerd. Just huge into it. I gotta pick up Star Ocean for PlayStation 4. And the Tales of series has been some of my favorite stuff. My roommate just left the room. He just gave me weird looks and left. He likes them too. But I picked up those two. And then it was a struggle because I didn't know if I should pick up the Grand Theft Auto collection, which I don't know what that is. This Akiba strip. Are you telling me to play this?
I just started playing it.
Okay, apparently he gave me a game to play, so yay for my weekend. But
you're not going to play it.
oh, fine.
I'm just showing you. It's a new JRPG I got. The whole point of it is like you get.
All right, I'm playing this.
Okay.
We'll talk later. Love you, George. But then I also picked up the Grand Theft Auto collection, which was Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, episodes of Liberty City, and Grand Theft Auto 4. $50, bought on sale for $10. So I'm like, I have no choice but to buy this.
Yeah, why don't you pay rent again?
Shush.
So should we talk about the aftermath of the hashtag Trexit?
Yeah. So okay.
boy.
So Brittany came up with an excellent idea for a name, Trexit, in which
I didn't know.
I did. Hold on. I thought it was a great name. I tweeted out. Chillcat tweeted out. Like, there was a lot of tweets about it. Coming next day, apparently Chill tells me that the Trexit is actually being used for something else. It's being used by the LGBT community to basically remove Trump. It's a Trump exit, not a Trex exit. So
Yeah.
so
That's just all sorts of awesome and, somewhat ironic at the same time.
there were lots of rainbows on everyone's Twitter. There's a lot of rainbows on Twitters.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of glad I missed last week's episode there because I would have been all over that hashtag Trexit thing and probably would have gotten just as many colorful followers as Chillcat did.
I still say I want to use it just to mix it in with like the LGBT community and then the DCUO community. Just like, what's going on? We have no idea what's going on right now.
Yeah, hashtag Trexit is being used by LGBT communities to get Trump to remove himself from the presidential race. That's awesome. Good job, Britt. Good stealth troll there, Britt. I like it.
I didn't know. I just thought it was funny.
It was funny, and just like in everyday life, something funny gets ruined by Trump. So I don't know. We may still use Trexit. I don't know, but it was still funny just to see that on a Saturday morning. So yeah. Oh man, that was so hilarious. Couldn't stop laughing. So all right, let's break into some news. First thing I want to talk about is this is RTX. The RTX event is Rooster Teeth. It's their annual event. And like I didn't even know this was coming up until this past Monday. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's this nice little panel here in Meeting Room 9 called Getting into Game Voiceover. This is a panel that will have our very own Nerd of Prey, S.J. Miller, our creative director. Now, and she's not on that panel alone, people. Soups, who's on that panel with her?
I can't name everybody, but I know one person specifically is on that panel, Miss Susan Eisenberg, who is the voice. She is the voice. She is as to the voice of Wonder Woman as Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are the voices of Batman and the Joker, in my opinion.
It's a good opinion.
She voices the Wonder Woman character in DCUO and has voiced her in multiple DC animated movie releases, as well as the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoon series.
Yeah. So SJ is going to be on this panel with Susan Eisenberg and a slew of other voice actors for DCUO. So they're going to be talking about themselves. They're going to be talking about getting into the actual into game voiceover. So if you want to be a voiceover artist, this is definitely a panel you want to tune in for. Now I say tune in because this panel will be streamed over on twitch.tv. I think it's like twitch.tv/RTXMR9. I will, if someone can actually look up that Twitch handle for me, because at the same time I forgot to grab a link. But yeah, so that meeting, that panel will be streamed, and it starts at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So that's 2:30 in the real world.
I'm sure if you pay attention to Daybreak or DCUO's Twitter feeds tomorrow, they'll be put out there. It'll be spammed on your Twitter feed sometime during the day, throughout the day tomorrow, before that panel actually happens. Because we know Dex is out there.
Yes, she is.
Seen a picture of Dex out there with a very drunk-looking Meps.
Thank you, Shadow Dragon. Yeah.
She said he wasn't drunk, but I've seen Meps drunk before, and he looked a little lit right there. That's all.
So, if you want to tune into that panel, it'll be streamed at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So, it's 2:30 for Eastern, whatever time for that other side of the coast. Brittany's world. It's twitch.tv/RTXRM9.
I'm glad you mentioned that Meps was going to be week, because I got to talk to him about an issue with the lead chat ranks and functions.
Next week's show is not about you.
Well, no, I just need to ask him a question about it. Let's bring it up to his attention, because you know how you can rank so which ones have lead chat voice and which ones don't, and all that. I've got a rank in my league for that, and I put Smurf in it for about 3 weeks, and for some reason I could still hear him talk.
Wow.
It was very disheartening. This is a high level. This is priority 1 glitch or bug that I think needs to be fixed, and anybody who has been in lead chat with Smurf will agree with me. So
So I have to say that looking at the rest of this panel, it looks pretty awesome. I mean, some red versus blue. We got some of the actual pro streamers there. I see Angry Joe's going to be there on Saturday. So RTX looks pretty fun. I wish I was in Austin to really experience it. So, all right. Let's talk into the nitty-gritty. Episode 25 released this past Wednesday, and no one cares about the episode besides the fact that the heels are officially in the game. So, you got your heels, ladies, men. We got some Kiss Army boots, so it works. It's pretty balanced, in my opinion. But for episode 25, we get. I
don't know how long this high heel thing has been going on, but all I know is I've been asking for an Owen Stein Cells 5v5 4v4 PvP map since Fight for the Light. It's going on 6 years now.
You can't see it. You can't see it or possibly hear it, but I'm playing the tiniest violin for you. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I think there's Beethoven. I'm Beethoven's Fifth. There it is, right there.
Shut up, Trex.
So, the Iceberg Lounge is the new solo featuring Harley Quinn, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and the Penguin. This is part 2 of the Harley Quinn storyline. Part 3 will be coming out in episode 26. That'll be coming out in July. This month. Yay, we're in July now. Next is a Rip in Time, play on words. The new 4-player alert for normal and elite. This is featuring an all-new character, Vixen! Plus, Rip Hunter, Heatwave, Captain Cold, Hot Girl, and the Atom. And this is part 2 of the Legends of Tomorrow storyline. Remember, part 1 was that nice little duo that I completely failed at on the test server. Yay me.
Can I just say, too, that I thought it was really funny. The episode first initially launched, everybody was shouting LFG for RIP. I thought it was awesome. Also, just as a note, I know somebody else here in the chat from my league is going to agree with me on this, and I think Brittany will as well. All of you munitions, gadgets, and mental players out there, get yourself some troll gear and learn how to troll.
Yeah.
Because if all you're doing is DPSing, you're not helping anybody but yourselves. Douchebags. Seriously.
And don't worry, we'll talk more about that in just a moment. And so with this episode being the second within the, I guess a trilogy, this is the last bit of the actual tier gear, the styles. So this is your chance to now get the flaming head. Get the flaming head, people. You need it. I need it. I want it. And the official, the abbreviations for Iceberg Lounge is IL. If you're actually going into LFG, by the way, and looking for a group for IL, stop it. Don't do that. You're a bad person. You should feel bad about doing it. I'm waiting for that one person who's like, need group for IL. It's a solo. What are you doing? And then for Rip in Time, it should be RIT. RIT.
Yeah.
It should be RIT.
Or right if you're doing elite.
Or there, yeah. But with like a lowercase e, because it's elite. Or N, or was it written? Ha! It's written, because it's RITN.
Moving on.
Words are
Yeah,
fun.
make yourself laugh.
What? It was funny. Leave me alone. I can make myself laugh. I'm in a good mood. And by the way, I still love these posters. These posters are amazing. So whoever gets to do these posters, that's not maps, congratulations. So, and also there was a server hotfix that came out today, which actually fixes some of the things that that I was going to discuss. So first thing, for your orange you on your side mission, made some changes to ensure that the greedy Green Lanterns and the greedy Sinestro Corps will be in the area they should be in for the mission. By the way, that is a War of the Light Part 1 mission that, thank you God, it's finally fixed. Yes, I'm so happy. Because that mission sucked because they were never there. You're searching around for 30 minutes and you found one guy, but you need 2 more. Ugh.
Hashtag villain lives matter.
Next.
Putting it out there. That's
Yeah.
why they fixed it. They fixed it for the villains.
That's true. The villains actually had worse than the heroes. I'm not sure how, but you did. Because you know the devs love villains. Like all the content for the villains is crazy. Episode 25, the 4-player operation, the Rip in Time. So they've added a secondary effects to the eviscerating fire dot during the Black Adam fight. This white tinted effect should help players who are playing as a rage character see when they've got this dot on them more easily. They've added a chevron to the eviscerating fireballs that emerge from the crystals while fighting Black Adam so that they can be identified and potentially avoided, even if you can't see the comet-looking fire effects as they hurtle away from the crystal. They've added safeguards so that you have eviscerating fire dot on you and are hit by another fireball, you won't have it reapplied. Oh, that's scary. Increase the amount of time you remain cleansed and immune if you use a fountain to remove the eviscerating fire dot by a couple of seconds. And yeah, thank you. Buy me dinner first, Mr. Whistle. Fix an issue where you could free Black Adam after defeating Vandal Savage and cause some awkward conversations to occur. And then for the one-player solo, Iceberg Lounge, Poison Ivy seed pods now have a 60-second timer to transport. If the timer runs out, the pods will reset. So we've already really gone over Iceberg Lounge because I was actually able to do a stream playing it, and Penguin is tough. But one, those base items. I want to talk about those base items. Brittany, talk about those base items.
Amazing. You get a lot of the base items that are in there dropped in, I guess, all content now, or I've actually seen them.
We're dropping through a lot of content right now.
Yeah, I've seen them in other content, and I actually haven't seen them drop from the solo, or actually just the solo, which I thought I just probably haven't been lucky yet. But yeah, those base items are amazing. So some of the stuff that you see in there, they actually drop as in content. So run stuff, and you'll get it, and you'll see how awesome it is.
She showed me some nice chairs that she got in a red and a black. It was intense. It was intense.
And there's like, what are they called? Door frames and like doors. The Art Deco doors are really cool. There's just a lot of really neat base items that are dropping from this episode. So get them.
And now, Soups, you had like this fishbowl looking item you tweeted out.
That is the time sphere. That is the reward you get from completing the briefing in Rip in Time. That is actually Rip Hunter's time sphere. You actually get to see. You actually get to see it in the alert. The first time you fight Vandal Savage, at the first boss fight there, and you actually climb into it and you use it, and go back in time and everything. However, it's bigger because the in the alert it's like set into like a pedestal area or a stage area in the alert. So what the actual item itself though has like the bottom part of it, and I mean it's so freaking big. I don't know where to. I mean I want it in my lair, but at the same time, it's like too big for my lair.
That thing is pretty huge,
especially for the yeah. It's pretty big. It is pretty big.
But it is pretty badass, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you can fit several people into it.
Really? If the time spheres are rocking,
in the alert. In the alert, I think Rip, Vixen, and the Atom are in it. No, just Rip and Vixen are in it, and then plus you and the other 3 group members are in it as well. So, yeah.
So, this is once again another item that is perfect for us to have a sit emote. We need to be able to hit /sit. We need to be able to sit in these items. Come on, engineers.
I need that for the Mobius chair alone.
Right? Please. Oh my God! Just make it interactable.
Hey, Trex. Speaking of which, when are you getting on so you can get that investigation done in Darkside Ward Factory?
I already got it from Brittany. She gave it to me.
Oh, that's right. Damn you, Brett.
She's the best.
Ruined all the fun out of that 5 hour event.
So wait, if it came from a briefing, how was she able to send it to me?
Well, I'm sure she's running on multiple tunes, and she's completed it on each of those tunes.
No, I didn't know you could. I thought.
Yeah, you can sell and trade those things.
Yeah. When it's lair items like that, yeah, you can sell and trade that stuff. I think you can do that with styles too.
I could have been selling this crap.
What do you mean crap?
Well, not crap like oh crap, but I mean just crap like in stuff, like the crap stuff, not crap in the negative tense. But I mean, I don't do the base item stuff. I could have been selling all this stuff.
Yeah, just keep yourself from saying crap again.
So, okay.
Yeah, I think you can do that with some of the style items too. I know you. Well, remember you could do that with the Guy Gardner chest. That's actually a piece of gear you get from.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Gear.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah. So, shut up, Keebler. That's not funny. So, all right. So, with the Rip in Time, the briefing reward is the Time Sphere, which is an awesome-looking base item. Huge for your base. Great for your League Hall if you love your League Hall members that much. So, I'm looking at... There's a style item. It's a headpiece that you get from Rip in Time. What's that? Because I saw a post about it on the forums saying that the headpiece that I guess drops from Vandal Savage or something is ugly.
Well, no, it doesn't drop. It's you get it from the collection in the alert.
Oh, it's the collections.
And,
okay, the collection.
Yeah, you get it from the collection in the alert, and basically it's the the Arab or the desert, the head style that Teth Adam is wearing in there before he becomes black, before he transforms into Black Adam.
Oh my god, that's so oh my god, Horace would love that.
Yeah, he probably would.
Oh my god, it's so awesome. Okay, yeah. Makes you like Miss Cleo.
No, there's a funny story behind that, but I'll have to tell you later.
Okay. Oh, it's Miss Cleo. Tess Adam. You about to go into some serious shit.
No, I gotta tell this story because this is hilarious. All right, so one night we're sitting in lead chat, and these guys are coming up with if you could have one superpower, what would it be? And this one guy in the league, he's like, my superpower would be where I'd be able to see anything. He's like, you'd be able to see into the future, into the past, and all that. He'd be able to see in the future, so he can predict the future, and all that. And so they're like, they came up and said, okay, now you have to come up with a weakness. You have to come up with a weakness, and so this guy came up. His weakness is that he can see into the future, but sometimes he's wrong. So then everybody started calling him Ms. Cleo.
Damn.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So those are the nice little rewards from a Rip in Time. The collections and the briefing.
And that's the guy, everybody. Thanks for speaking up, King.
So, all right. So a Rip in Time.
I wasn't going to drop your name because you weren't here, but now I know you're here. Stories now, buddy. Let's talk about King Gamer on his tank cult.
All right. So with the Rip in Time, when it launched, there were some issues with the apparently the second boss in Elite. For one, the community is once again split down the middle, where everyone loves this alert, but it's too easy, or they hate this alert, but the second boss is like the win. It's the best boss ever, but the alert sucks. Once again, a prime example of you can't please everyone, and that's okay. You can't please everyone. I mean, Phantom Zone, normal, and Elite, sure. I think it's probably what everyone expects Elite to be in Phantom Zone wise. But you have to understand, why was Phantom Zone Elite so hard? Because of the mechanics. If I remember correctly, no one likes seeing the same mechanics over and over again. # reflect. So not everything is going to be Phantom Zone Elite. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. So, coming onto the forums, I went and read all the posts about this thing, and it looks like this hotfix actually fixes everything. What have you guys experienced in this alert? How was it when it launched?
I thought it was fine when it launched.
Yeah, I did too. My only issue was that when I first ran it, I didn't know what to look for with a dot. Like, I knew that there was a dot, but I didn't know how you got it. So when we were running it, I didn't know how I was getting dotted. And I couldn't tell. The only way I could tell is if my health kept fluctuating, like, a lot. So that was the only way I knew that I was dotted. And, like, but I can't see the animation on me because I'm rage. And so the pinkish color blends in perfectly with severe. So the severe animation, so I couldn't tell. And I'm like, well, my health is dipping. Okay, I think I have the dot. And so I would go cleanse it. But now that I know what to look for, I can avoid it, but it's still just, it's hard to see with a rage player. I can see it perfectly fine when I play any of my other characters, but I can't see it with rage for some reason. So, yep. But I didn't run into any major issues, like any.
Yeah.
Once I knew what to look for with that, with how the dot is applied to you, I could avoid it. I didn't have rendering issues. Like, I think that was something that was reported. People weren't able to actually see the animation coming at you.
Yeah, when I saw the feedback thread, Brittany was the first response. So I mean, she was there to voice her opinions. The other issues were, in fact, the effects side of the dot. They weren't able to see it come to them, or they couldn't see that it was on them. And if you're one of those players that were having this issue, make sure that your effects slider in your options is slid all the way to the right, so it's maxed out. And if it is maxed out, I recommend, especially for PC players, I recommend going to the feedback thread and actually post what your video card is, so the developers can at least see what, because of course as PC we have different types of machinery, so it gives the devs the idea of what kind of cards players are using and what the issue could possibly be, if it might be a specific card or it just might be something different altogether. But now that this hotfix today, or actually I think it's today, it's for today. This is supposed to fix or at least help all this by adding another effect, so players should be able to see the effect on them and also coming from the crystal. It definitely is rendering issues. I'm not sure how console players are doing with it. Were you guys able to see the effects come towards you?
Yeah, I can see it. It's like a slow moving. Well, I guess not slow moving, but it's like a
red fireball.
Yeah, it's like that coming at you. But like when we first ran it, I didn't know what to look for. I just knew you got a dot on you somehow. I just didn't know how. And with everything going on around me, I didn't see it. But now that I know what it looks like I haven't had a problem rendering issues with it.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's just a PC thing or if there are people on PS that are also having an issue. But everyone that I've ran it with hasn't had an issue seeing that once they know what to look for.
Okay, so basically, either PC players working with potatoes or PlayStation 3 players do better.
Well, I just know that I personally have not had any issues.
You heard it first. You heard it here. Brittany said, "Do better." That's.
Oh boy. Thanks, Trex. Somebody's gonna make a video about this now. Thanks, Trex.
You're welcome. I'm gonna sell all my crap. So, all right. So hopefully this like I said, I hope this hotfix fixes everything for players out there. If you're still having issues, please go to the forums in the, I think it's the development thread. I can't remember. It's one of the. There's a feedback section that you can get feedback on the instance, and I recommend always go in there to get feedback on what an issue is. You can go in there and praise it. You can go in there and hate it, sure. But if you're not explaining what the issue is and just saying it sucks, stop posting on the forums. You're not helping anybody.
Delete your account.
No, I'm not going to go there. I'm a nice guy. Soup says delete. I say just stop posting.
No, it's just, if the only thing you're doing is to post on the forums just to bitch, you know, and you're not going on there to give positive feedback or not even positive feedback. If you're not posting on the forums to give feedback on how something you think would be better and all that, you're wasting everybody's time, including your own. That's how I feel.
It's okay.
I mean, I feel I say the same thing to some of the YouTubers out there. All you're doing is posting videos just to bitch about shit, and you're not, dropping suggestions about, how things could be better and all that, or, better ways to do things. Then you're just wasting your time and mine and everybody else's.
Yeah.
And some of you, with the way you do post your negative feedback, I guarantee you're not wasting the devs' time because they're not going to give you the time of day.
Also, I just want to give a quick apology to the server issues that happened today. I accidentally unplugged something, and because I was trying to plug in the microwave because I wanted a hot pocket, so that's why the servers kind of crashed.
Oh my god, dude! And that happened at such a bad time for me, too.
Yeah, I was in the middle of the second boss on Elite.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was on my 126 sorcery healer. I was healing Desecrated Cathedral. Now, mind you, I didn't really need that to heal it that much because the tank was 161 and he was atomic, which you would think would make it a smooth run, except for the 128. No, the 126 DPS we had, who, for the love of God, I don't know, he had no idea how to use munitions, apparently. And the 118 controller, who got one shot from those damn tornadoes that Raven puts out every, 10 seconds, it seems. So, I mean, that was me in trouble. Not to mention the fact that if the troller did not get picked up, the tank would say, okay, just wipe. Because there's no troll. I'm popping sodas. I'm chugging sodas. I'm putting down supply drops. All right. The whole time I'm in there healing this to keep the DPS alive because there's no keeping that troller alive from the one shots. Working my ass off to heal this, and the tank would just give up if the troller didn't get picked up in time. And he is 161 atomic. He could have soloed the damn boss.
Look, I'm
sorry.
we're
finally in there. All right, the troller's out. The DPS. I tried to get the DPS went down. I tried to pick him up and all that, and I couldn't get to him because I got hit by one of those damn tornado things again from her. And so me and the tank are the only ones in there. I am working my ass off to keep myself alive, so the tank would not realize that we were out 2 people in the group, and he would keep playing. And then all of a sudden, everything just stopped. And I'm looking at the screen, and I'm like, no. I checked my internet, and it's still up. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Again, I just wanted a pepperoni hot pocket. I'm so sorry. It was someone unplugged the microwave from the break room. I'm not sure why. If you ever unplug a microwave, you are basically dead to me. But all the plugs were all fixed, and there was this one plug that I had to go to another room for, and it wasn't labeled. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't see it leading anywhere, so I unplugged it, and that's what happened. But on the good side, that hot pocket did hit the spot. It was a good hot pocket. Delicious. But I am sorry for everybody crashing, though. That was sorry. You guys are good now, right? Yay! You guys were able to finish things. I guess not.
No, because then I ended up in a Blackest Day run where, again, just bad tanks, and I couldn't do it anymore. I had to log off. I had to go. It's all your fault, Trex. All your fault.
Whoopsie. Sorry, folks. Really wanted that Hot Pocket. It's really good. Oh, and a side note, since I have to bring up food, the FDA came out and said that cookie dough, don't eat raw, because that's how you can get, like, E. coli is, like, in the flour or some crap, whatever.
No, it's the raw egg.
They said it was flour, in the raw flour.
It's the raw egg.
Well, you know what?
In the cookie dough.
Well,
that's not fucking new. That's not something new. That's been like...
The FDA made it official yesterday.
I remember my grandmother telling me I couldn't eat the raw cookie dough when I was like 4.
Telling you no. My grandmother told me. My grandmother fed it to me. She begged me to eat it. I'm like, yeah. So, frankly, it's 2016.
Salmonella is from chicken, Grid. Come on, man.
And tomatoes.
What?
What? Isn't it?
No.
Hey, my local Moles had to shut down because they said that salmonella was in the tomatoes. I don't even know anymore. Either way, FDA, go to hell. All right? It's 2016. There should already be a cure for E. coli. Fix it. Do better about your jobs. Me, I'm gonna eat me some raw cookie dough because it is delicious.
Grid, salmonella is from raw chicken meat or uncooked chicken meat. Okay, E. coli is from raw eggs.
That's what the E stands for. It's egg coli.
Oh my god.
What? You're gonna call it E. coli? What's the E stand for? Damn it! Extreme? It's extreme cola.
And where H from HP?
I don't know.
He's googling it.
Well, while he's googling, like I said, be sure to tune in tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 2:30 Eastern, like 12:30, I believe. For no, it's not. That's not. Is it 12:30, Brittany?
What for the RTX stream?
Yeah, 1:30 Central. That's 12 for you. Or is it 11?
11.
11. Okay, that's right. Central, fake ass Mountain, and then Pacific. Gotcha. I forget Mountain Time is a thing. No one's in the mountains. No one's there. But yeah, so tune in for that over at twitch.tv/RTXRM9. That's where you can see our good old SJ moderate a panel full of voice actors from DCUO. So, and now here we go. Everyone's going on a whole food thing in chat. I'm awesome.
This is the guy that eats Hot Pockets.
I had one. I was in a mood. I was like, I want a Hot Pocket. Oh, look, I have a Hot Pocket. Let me eat that. If it helps, it was my last Hot Pocket.
Nope.
You're only mad because I ruined your run. That's all.
Well, you kind of did. Because we were going for a feat. And I'm just going to blame you for the feat being messed up.
I will accept this. So, no, sir! You do not bring up Flint! You do not bring up Flint, Michigan!
Right. No, Epic Lurker said it's believed that contaminated water can also put salmonella on your tomatoes. You can put salmonella on the tomatoes. Not that there's actually salmonella in the tomatoes. And then Keeler, made a joke about saying don't go around licking tomatoes. And so I just commented only the tomatoes in Flint, Michigan. What is wrong with saying that?
Too soon, man.
Not too soon.
Too soon. Those are my peoples. Well, half my peoples. I feel for them. Marky Mark needs to send more bottled water. That was cool. Anyways, be sure to follow us on social media over at DCUO Sourcecast on Facebook and Twitter. You can find You can find the VODs over at youtube.com/Trexlight in the Sourcecast playlist all the way up until episode 200. The episode 201 starts over on Super Patriots channel. Yay! You can find all of the MP3s over at Trexlight.com in the DCUO Sourcecast webpage, or you can find us on iTunes. Just type in DCUO Sourcecast and you'll find us there. If you guys have any suggestions or comments you guys want us to talk about on the show, you can email us at dcuosourcecast@gmail.com. Soups, where can we find you?
You can, of course, find me at youtube.com/facebook.com/daddy's on the Twitter at the Daddy's House, and occasionally streaming here, the future home of the DCUO Sourcecast on twitch.tv/the Daddy's House.
Well done.
Britt, where can we find you?
You can very rarely find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Brittany, on Twitter at PinkRanger _206, and on Twitch at Brittany_Trex. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook.com/Trexlight, over here at on my YouTube at YouTube.com/Trexlight. Always find me on the Twitter at ThisIsTrex, and find me here at the soon-to-be no longer home of the Sourcecast over at Twitch.tv/Trexlight. Oh, one more episode! One more episode and I get my Friday nights back, which I really don't have a Friday night life to begin with, so it's just me going to sleep.
Keep in mind, too, folks, that when we do air episode 201 of the DCUO Sourcecast, we are taking our time slot back. I just
had this Trump thing in my head.
I have discussed this with Brittany and all that. She is good to go with it because she would like the earlier time. I also would like the earlier time. We are taking the 7 o'clock Eastern time showtime back. We're taking our time slot back from DC from MEPS because I am daring him. It's a challenge for him to start FNL back up. If he wants 7 o'clock, then start airing something at 7 o'clock.
Make the Sourcecast great again. I just had this Trump thing in my head.
That's right. We are making the Sourcecast great again. And for everybody out there that keeps asking me, have you done a replacement for Trex yet? Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. The man we haven't even aired our final episode yet.
My grave isn't my grave is still warm.
I do not have anybody under consideration yet. Brittany haven't even talked about it.
Oh, congratulations, Dave, on getting the elite gloves. Yeah, apparently there's elite gloves in the operation. So, what's this? Does anyone know what the styles is?
It's Rip Hunter's hands. Rip Hunter's hand style.
Ooh, that's nice. That's real nice. What's next for Trex? I will be taking a break. I'm taking a break now from streaming because I have a super serious project I'm trying to get done for my friends at Dragon Con. But then once I get done with
porn.
Stop it.
What?
But this project is basically my break from streaming and getting videos done. But once this is done, I should be done hopefully close to the end of July, and then I'll be coming back to stream and do videos. I'll be moving on to other few games to try and get ready for my esports career and cross my fingers again. It's not porn.
Oh,
I'm not. No.
My bad.
Yeah, OP hands, not the elite hands. OP hands, yeah. But tune in next week, where we will have Meps and possibly some other special guests. We'll be giving away auras. We'll be giving away probably stuff in Trex's inventory because it's a mess, and you guys can help me clean it. It's a garage sale.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We're gonna be doing this guy's dirty work. God, how lazy can you be, Trex?
I can just see him doing it like an auction. Next up for sale, we have 3 rubber chickens, folks. 3 rubber chickens. We're gonna start the bidding at $5. $5, save the $5. $6. We have $6. Do I see $7? Do I see $7? $8. That man right there. Sold. 3 rubber chickens that have been sitting in Trex's inventory for the past 2 years.
For the record, I have no rubber chickens. Okay, that is a false accusation.
I almost guarantee you open up your freaking inventory, you're gonna find 3 rubber chickens in there.
I don't have any. I don't know. I mean, I got some books of Oa, sure, but
I'm not gonna lie. I've got stacks of some trash drops in my inventory, but they are all for PvP. All right, I've got worn boots.
You got the tears, don't you?
I've got worn boots so I can give people their shoes back. I got vials of tears when they're crying about getting me beating them. All right, I've got shattered bones and teeth fragments, so I can give them because they leave them behind sometimes after I've smacked them around. And the one that makes me smile the most, and actually I'm going to send it to that guy that said my dad died of cancer. I have this one trash drop that I've stumbled across called it's a pamphlet. It's called Pamphlet: The Emotional Spectrum in You.
I read that. It's a good read.
I'm going to mail that to that guy when I get on it. And add him to my friends list and say, hey, kiddo.
But yeah, we're going to have some fun stuff. We'll also be doing some giveaways. I'll have Xbox, PlayStation, and Daybreak cash cards to give away for players of the 3 platforms. So hopefully the cards will go to players of those platforms. So tell your friends if they want to get some free stuff. So, but that's it for us for tonight. We hope to see you guys. We hope to see a lot of you guys next week.
Are we going to be streaming in game during the giveaways?
Great. Are we streaming in game? Because I plan on being in game.
I think we should stream in game, and anybody who wins stuff has to be able to come up to you so you can trade the item to them.
Okay. I can do that. We will be in game.
I'm just saying. If they want free shit, they need to be watching and listening at the time. You hear that, Lee?
Well,
not coming in at the end of. Is there a giveaway?
I mean, he's gonna be the new boss, so you have to listen to him. I mean, I'm only the boss for one more episode, and he's taking over.
I'm just saying, man. So I don't have that much money, but if I'm giving giveaways, I am like screen capping the list of people who are watching the show at the beginning, and those are the only eligible winners.
No, for the Xbox One players, I mean, I can be on the Xbox One game because I have it on Xbox. Ooh, I have to update that. Ooh, I need to. No. PlayStation 4 is updated. Yes, I remember now. So, all right. So tune in next week. We're going to have a big blowout. We're going to have the roast of Trex. We'll have MEPs, and we'll have giveaways.
We have anybody else?
We have MEPs.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
You said you were lining up guests, plural, so I wasn't sure if you were having anybody else.
Whoever MEPs can drag from the office.
Awesome. I'm hoping for Lock and SJ and Spord.
I mean,
Spord's probably too busy though.
Spord is in his cage.
Desk again.
Yeah, he's in his cage. Yeah. He has work to do.
That poor guy.
So, thank you all so much, and we will see you guys next week. Y'all take care. Have a good weekend. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Sorry the Blue Jays lost to my Indians, but that's the breaks.